Hello. Alright, welcome to yet another Yap session. Let me see if I can. Maybe that's a better view. Hey. Hells yeah. So, welcome to another episode of Rudy Thinks. I'm still working on a title. So, there's a lot of topics I want to talk about. I think today I want to talk about education and how wasted it is. Wasted education. What do I mean by that? I'm sure all of you can relate, can understand, because everything we've been learning, it almost feels useless. We're unable to use our education in real life purposes, and every day it's getting harder and harder to find jobs related to the education we're getting. What's the point of getting an art major if you're going to end up being a secretary somewhere, or work at McDonald's? What's the point of getting a psychology major if there's too many psychologists? What's the point of learning IT or getting 12 years of education, finishing high school, if once you start actually entering the workforce, you don't know how to do simple things like taxes, or write a resume, or fix a light bulb? And not only that, I'm not just talking about personal, individual life uses, right? I feel like globally speaking as well. We've been learning mathematics, history, science, civil studies, religion. And then at the same time, globally, we're living in a world where even though we know about all these religions and all these people, and we understand all these sciences and maths, we still are fighting among each other. There's still racism. There's still misunderstanding. There's still fights. Look at it this way, okay? I personally enjoy history, and I came to really like history class because I had a really good history teacher. May his soul rest in peace. Bro died of cancer. I loved him so much, and he really brought the love of history for me, and he always said the reason we're studying all these things is because we don't repeat history, that's why we learn about the Holocaust, that's why we learn about how segregation was in the Americas, that's why we learned about all these wars that happened because of power-hungry aristocrats, like Henry the VIII. The dude built a whole new religion just because he wanted to be in power. And then fast forward to now, 2025. We got Palestine happening, which is ironic because it's the same people that had Holocaust happen to them are now doing Holocaust back on unrelated people. It's not even revenge, it's just outright genocide. It's history repeating itself. When you look back in history, I can excuse all these power-hungry people, like Hitler or Napoleon or those Romans or whatever, like Caesar, I can excuse them because they didn't have the education we had. They didn't have access to information that we do today. That's why they kept repeating the same mistakes. Heck, even if you go as far as like war tactics, Napoleon attacked Russia. He thought he could do it fast enough, but by the time he got to Russia, winter hit. His whole army died, starved, cold. Boom, he lost. And then Hitler came around. Hitler didn't study history either, because what happened? He thought he could take Russia before winter started. He went to Russia. Boom, even his machines and tanks were freezing, unable to work, let alone his military force. So I'm here talking about how our generation, we were given a lot of strong education with promises that this education is readying us for a better world. And then here I am with this better education, with this better understanding of a globe that could be peaceful, but yet I'm not living in that world. So they prepared me for the wrong generation. What's going on? And what hurts more is I've ended up studying at Hiroshima University. Now, if you guys know, Hiroshima City was one of the targets of the nuclear bombings in World War II. And at Hiroshima University, studying peace and coexistence, and we've been learning so much about the side effects, the unspoken truths of, the atomic bombing. So, I've really come to empathize much more deeply with the effects of war, and especially weapons of mass destruction like nuclear weapon. And thus, I wouldn't want to even think about a world that still has this weapon, right? But fast forward to 2025, we got America and Israel going against Russia and China, and it's all threats of nuclear. It's all filled with threats of nuclear weapons, So what's the point of me going all these classes, me trying so hard to get these credits, me trying so hard to empathize? And what happened to the future that we were promised, the future that we were educated for? Now I can barely find the job. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And nobody's giving us answers. Nobody. They don't even tell us how to make it through this. They don't tell us what to expect. And by them, I mean the people who are causing all these things. These nations, these our governors, our people, the people who are governing us. Are they not educated? Did they not get the same education as us, or at least an extent of it? What's going on? I think we need to talk about this more, or at least use the education we received to bring about the world that we were promised ourselves, instead of waiting around. And that's what I'm aiming for, though. I don't want to leave this world, or live in this world, feeling like my education has been wasted. I want to use it. And I know everybody else does. I'm tired of this. And I know everybody else is tired. My God. Yeah. I know it was filled with a little bit of anger, but I've also got my own personal reasons. I'm an Iranian. And every day when I call back home, every time I talk to my friends back home, my family. Amongst everything else we talk about, there's always a mention of Rudy. Do not come back to your own country. I don't want to be an immigrant. I want to be free. I want to be able to choose where I live, not to be forced to live in a place that's safer. And on top of that, safe places to live are becoming less and less every day. Why can't we just go back to our own countries? At least those who want to be in their own countries, you know? And it hurts even more because I know we can achieve it. We literally have the education for it, like I've been ranting about all this video. And yet we fail to. So this is like half of a call for action and half of a call for speaking up. I know a lot of people are, but I don't feel like we're speaking up together. I feel like we feel too individualistic. We don't realize that we're all in it together. We can make it possible. Our generation. Man, it's really hurtful because I come from a family that is highly educated. Both my parents, they have a postdoctorate, which means like in their respective fields after getting their PhD, they continue their research and they have published a lot more papers, and they're very respected in their fields too. And so growing up, there was a strong emphasis on education in my family. We weren't rich or anything, but one thing my parents would always do was never try to save money on education. They would rather starve and give me a good education than not do that, And sure, I've always been a stubborn child, but lately I've come to appreciate it more and more. And the more I appreciate it, the more I get invested in how bad our situation is and how fixable it is. So my takeaway message for you guys at this moment is don't let your education go to waste. Let's build the world we were promised ourselves. Catch you guys later.